All right, welcome back, everyone. I am Chase.
I'm Christian.
We are the RMFantasy SXperts here for round 4 of RMFantasy SX. Christian, round 3, it's in the books.
First Triple Crown down.
Gosh, I love the Triple Crowns. I
wish
they did them every
too.
weekend.
I'm with you.
But we got some cool stuff to talk about. 2 first-time winners in back-to-back weeks. Let's get right into it. This is our race recap. All right, Christian. So when we talk about our race recap, before we do that real quick, just remember if you're listening to this in podcast form, you can also watch the YouTube episode where we do these each week. They release on Friday. Or if you're watching this, you don't have time to maybe watch the whole video, listen to our podcast. It's on all the major platforms.
No excuses at this point.
No excuses.
Get it in somehow.
Christian, give us a rundown. How did the weekend, turn out?
First of all, the biggest surprise, Cooper Webb taking that first 450 win.
Not just taking it, dominating.
And sending a statement to especially Roxon.
The pistol shot to Roxon.
I loved it, dude. I thought that was awesome.
All right.
So Marv staying strong in second. Tomac playing it safe still in third.
Yep.
Roxon fourth. Wilson fifth. Your boy Justin Hill saving our
saving
fantasy
grace.
season.
Yes,
Yep,
I had Justin Hill for Wildcard, and I got it.
First pick of the year or so.
But Dino was kind of a quiet 5th, and I think it's because he didn't finish in the top 5 in any one of the mains.
Yeah. Just overall, I mean, Triple Crown kind of helped him out.
Pretty
Barsha as
interesting.
well. We'll get into it.
But what is important to know is that you and I, Stats and Lats, took the lead.
Retook the lead.
By 5 points over Slice and Dice, Jim and Daniel. So we're at 142, they're 137. How are you guys doing with all your friends? You guys winning, not doing so hot? It's been an up and down season so far.
Oh, yeah.
But how about user stats? What do we got?
Points were still down. It seems like if Tomac or Roxon don't win, points are going to be down.
Yeah.
So we averaged 21.2. Nobody's got a perfect score yet this season.
When did we get a perfect score last year? Wasn't it
Round 4.
Round 4?
Yeah. So
okay.
We're going on pace for
riders
that right
start
now.
to sort themselves out. You kind of see where everyone's lining up. Okay.
Yep. And one person did get 5 correct, which is pretty awesome. And that person did pick Webb to win. So.
Jeez.
But he was only picked by 225 people, 0.33%. So
wow.
Less people picked him to win than Baggett the week before.
Over 49% still had Tomac to win.
And I was one of them.
You were, yes, you were.
I don't feel right not putting him in that top spot.
3,500 people had Hill in the wild card, so.
Yeah, pretty good weekend in the wild card. But it's not all doom and gloom. 35% did get at least 1 right. So that's pretty good.
Now, injuries, so we saw Barsha, he did have that get off, so he hit the eject button in that rhythm lane, but what we have heard is that he will be lining up, or at least he will be at qualifying.
Bruised tailbone.
Bruised tailbone. So make sure, if you're thinking about Barsha, look at his qualifying to see where he's at. Look, on Instagram, you can look at our Twitter feed. We'll be making announcements. Anderson, bless his soul, broke his arm and a rib.
On Monday, big deal, out at least 8 weeks.
Yeah, he's out. Stewart obviously out with the broken femur. Osborne not making a return yet. And then, of course, Benny Bloss as well. Yep. So there it is. Those are results from this last weekend. But now we are going to Oakland. If you haven't checked out the track map yet, looks pretty cool, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Here is our track trends.
So before we get into Oakland, just know we have a new offer code for you guys. It's a pretty good one. You're going to want to hang out, see it later on in the show. But let's talk about Oakland. The track's been known to break down.
Yeah.
The track map looks pretty interesting. A lot of 180 turns. A lot of them right before the finish line, which I thought was pretty cool. So a lot of opportunities for carnage or bumping and grinding, like you call it.
Bumping and grinding. Yeah, I think it'll be a good track as far as passing goes. Like you were saying, though, it does break down. So if you guys were watching the races last year, Seeley had the early lead. He had his issues. Anderson got out to the lead. And Roxon and Anderson had an epic battle.
Oh, the whole last lap,
Yeah, it was just awesome. And it was mistakes because of the track being so ruddy that, made for that epic battle. So something to consider when you're making your picks. But also very important, too, is look at your TV schedule. Because the last time I checked, they're going to show it. If you watch it on NBC Sports, just on your cable, they're not going to air it till Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, it's delayed.
But if you have the NBC Sports Gold app, you'll be able to still watch the races the normal time, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So just check with your local TV provider because if you don't have the app, you're not going to get the races till Sunday afternoon.
You're going to want to avoid spoilers at all costs.
Absolutely. So. But last year, so like we said, Seeley got a good start, led for a while. Anderson, Roxon had their epic battle. Tomac, Musquin both had their struggles there last year.
Yeah.
So, but.
And then High Point, Baggett took third. We don't know what to do with that or what it means, but he took third.
We'll figure it out this week, I guess. Anyway, I don't know. Did you see the meme what they did the bird box about making your picks.
Yeah, that's how it feels. Don't feel bad. If you're getting one pick right a week, you're doing good.
You're actually doing pretty good.
So.
But that is the track trends. Now let's get into it. We got to talk about it. This is our top contenders. You know, some of the top picks for that top 5 spot going into Oakland. Here it is with our top contenders. All right, so for this week with our top contenders, we have on the table Eli Tomac, Ken Roczen, Marvin Musquin, Cooper Webb now in the contenders debate, and Dean Wilson. Not what I was expecting to see in this segment, but it is what it is.
Not the white plate you'd expect to see, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. So pretty wild.
Start with Tomac. Can we pick him to win? Is he gonna win?
Well, look.
Is he not?
I think he dominated that third main last weekend, but it's kind of interesting. He's only 2 points back in the championship, so it's awesome to see a tight championship battle. Yeah. And this is the tightest I've seen the top 5 in points or the top 6 in a long time. It's pretty crazy.
Tomac, at this point last year was 43 points behind the leader. Yeah. Now he's 2. So
pretty wild. So
it's not time to panic or anything, but
no. But his time is coming.
Yeah.
But his average starts so far this year is 6.6. That's the only thing that makes me nervous about Tomac right now, not getting those starts dialed in. And he has finished 1 spot back from qualifying in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. So his qualifying's correlating right now.
And also last year did not have a winless streak of 3 or more rounds all of last year.
He's due.
He is due.
He's more than due.
All right, what do you got on Roczen here?
Ken Roczen hasn't finished worse than 4th this year. He's been in every top 5, but he has been moving steadily back.
I know.
From 2nd to 3rd to 4th.
Interesting.
With Barsha being out now, Anderson being out, maybe that moves him up a little bit. But I don't see how you could pick either Tomac or Roczen, anyone else to win
starts have been
now.
Good though.
Yeah, Roczen has he's got 2 whole shots, second best average start of every gate drop.
Okay.
And he didn't have 1 whole shot in 6 rounds last year. So his last whole shot was A1 in 2017.
Yeah, so his starts are better.
He's got to get that whole shot.
Musquin, I don't know if I
feel good about him now.
I do, because he's had 2 straight top 5, so he went 5, then 2nd. He's got the best starting average this year at 3.8, and his qualifying and his finishing have improved each round.
Yeah, he's getting better. And
so I think the Marv we saw last year is slowly working his way up. Which, who do you think wins first, Marv or Tomac?
I still have to pick Tomac.
Still got Tomac?
I mean, he did pass Tomac last week in main 1. That was the first time.
Jumped right past him, too.
Yeah, jumped right past him in the whoops. That was crazy. So, but I'm on the Marv train. I'm back on there. Maybe Matild's cooking up something new that's got him going. I don't know.
Yeah. What about Webb?
Webb is my new guy.
Is he?
I love this man. I love the confidence. People will call it cocky. Dude, when he did the double shooter, I was pumped on that. I loved it.
So you think last week's finish solidifies him as a top 5 contender?
He thinks he should be winning every race. You listen to him talk, you see him race. In his mind, he should be winning every race, and that's what I like about this dude. So.
It's just weird, though. My only thing that concerns me is, he pulled really good starts last weekend, so hopefully he carries that over, because in the other 2 rounds, average start of 15th.
Yeah.
Granted, in A1, he went down in the corner.
It was a mess, and did come back to 5th. So.
Yeah, so I think you're right. I think he's here to stay. And also, guys, just excuse me, I've been a little under the weather, so if I'm coughing a lot, I apologize.
'Tis the season.
Dino, quiet 5th last weekend. What do you got?
I mean, I don't know what to really say about him. He took 5th overall last week and lost 2 spots in the overall point standings.
Webb went from 8th to 3rd.
Yeah, he gets passed by Musquin and Webb in the overalls and still takes 5th.
Yeah,
so
but
that's got to motivate him a bit. Because he's doing way good.
He's on a roll.
He's getting recognition.
But now with Malcolm Stewart out, with Jason Anderson gone, I think Wilson's
banged up Barsha.
Kind of one of the, Barsha's banged up, so maybe he's a good shoo-in for a top 5.
Whether you like it or not, the man's been in 2 top 5s out of 3 rounds. So.
I agree. You can't deny those facts. All right, well, there you have it. Those are our top contenders. What do you guys think? Who's going to be in those top 5 slots this weekend? I'm kind of curious. We'll talk about it next. Are we going to see another rider claim his spot in the top 5?
I mean, Wilson almost did it in A1. So can we see another first-time winner?
Ooh, I don't know. But here we come. This is our next section. We call it Weekly Spoilers.
So we talked about the top 5 contenders. Yep. Now we have the spoilers, a little less picked, longer shot of picks to make the top 5.
Yep.
Justin Barsha, what do you got?
Well, for Barsha, so Bam Bam 51, he had that get off in the 3rd main last week. Pretty spectacular, hit the eject button.
He looked way good all night before that, though.
Yeah, right now he's got a tailbone injury, is expected to line up to race on Saturday, but my best advice for Barsha is watch qualifying and see where he is at. And
I agree.
follow us on Instagram, on Twitter. If he's not going to line up, we know it's going to be out there. People are going to know. Yeah. So change your picks accordingly if you already have him in your top 5 right now.
Don't get sucked in and see a good qualifying time. That could have been one lap or something.
But what is interesting about Bam Bam is that he's only started in the top 5 2 out of 5 gate drops this year.
Combined with injury this week, he's risky for me.
I agree.
He's not getting good starts. He's banged up.
Now we got Cole Seeley on the table. What do you have for Cole?
He's improved every year, or every week this year. He's doing really good. He had 2 top 5 starts last round.
Yep.
So he might have got the starts figured out. He took the whole shot in Oakland last year, led for a while. You know, that might be the round where he starts to bust more into the top 5 because he hasn't gone 3 rounds without making the top 5, going back through 2018, 2017, 2016. So he's beyond due to crack that top 5.
I agree, and that's why he's actually in my picks this week.
He might be mine too.
Yeah. Next up, we got El Chupacabra, Blake Baggett. Now, of all the riders this year, the biggest bird box, I'm going to call it that, is Blake Baggett. I just don't know where to put this guy.
He's finishing like 11 spots different every round.
Oh, man, it's tough. But he's already proven that he has the speed to win, obviously, because he just did that in Glendale.
Yeah, not too long ago.
Got to see where we go. You know, obviously he had the bad luck at Anaheim too when he got the tough block cover stuck in his wheel.
He just couldn't catch a break. Everything that could go wrong seemed to go wrong. I think it was just a bad round. I bet he wishes it was fantasy. He could throw that round out.
So, but here's one thing: is Blake didn't start inside the top 10 in all 3 mains last weekend.
No, that's not good.
That is not good. But if he gets a start, he's going to run in the top 5, no doubt.
And he's done good in Oakland in the past.
All right. So. What do you got on Plessinger?
Aaron Plessinger. His average overall finish is 8th, start 10.8, and qualifying 15th almost. So don't be thrown off by his qualifying. He's already finished 7th and 6th this year.
Yeah.
So with Anderson being out, with
Malcolm Stewart
being out, with Barsha being banged up, I could really see him putting that 7 back on the podium. It's been a while.
And the track gets ruddy in Oakland, and he likes those ruddy tracks.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
All right, so those are our spoilers for the week. Again, riders that could potentially crack the top 5. But now we got to talk about it, 7th place, wild card, because I finally got one.
I'm glad you did.
Finally got the wild card. This week, 7th place, so let's get into it. This is a wild card watch. All right, so for this week's wild card, we have Aaron Plessinger, Joey Savacci, and Justin Brayton on the table. 7th place. So these 3 riders have all finished 7th or worse so far this year.
Yeah, their averages, their stats,
they're right around that 7th place.
7th or behind it. And with the injuries, we're kind of planning on them shifting up. Plessinger, we're obviously the most high up on. We even mentioned him in the spoilers.
Yeah. So he's finished, his average finish so far this year is 8th. I wouldn't look at his qualifying times, though, because his average qualifying so far is 14.6.
Yeah, it's like 7.5 spots back.
So, but when you go off finishes, he's right there. Now, Joey Savacci, that's actually my wild card pick for the week. So he finished 8th overall at Anaheim 2. And then, but in his 3 main finishes, they were 8, 7, 8.
So they're all right around 7th
all
place.
Right
That's
around
what I like about him, too.
Yep. And then what do you got for Brayton?
Justin Brayton, we don't know if he's saving that old man strength for Daytona this year again or what's going on, but he took 7th in the last standard round in Glendale, and he qualified in 7th on that round. So usually you can kind of watch where he's qualifying in a standard round. Maybe there's something there. But
yeah, and maybe you guys have someone else who could finish that 7th spot. I'm still waiting for Justin Hill to do something.
It feels like he should be up here.
10 yet.
He's just he's wild and out of control.
I don't know, but statistically and just from what we've seen results-wise, these guys are right in that zone. But what do you think? If you're listening, if you're watching, comment. Who else do you think is going to be, one of those wild card contenders? But that's who we got.
I like it.
I think they're solid picks. But coming up next, got a cool guest coming on the show this week. We could call him a rival.
Yep.
But if you watch Race Day Live, then you know who this man is. His name is Daniel Blair. He is going to call in. We're going to get his thoughts on the year so far and kind of what his picks, what he's thinking for this round coming up in Oakland. Here it is, Between Two Berms with Daniel Blair. All right, we got him on the phone. Between Two Berms, Daniel Blair. What up, Daniel?
I find it funny that you guys are calling me to get insider information when I'm actually your competition. So maybe don't trust what comes out of my mouth today. I might be leading you boys astray.
Well, you and Jim are down. Stats and Lats got Slice and Dice beat right now.
Yeah, Jim's dragging me down, man. Look, I got to have a pep talk with him. I got to get his game up. Look, I came to play, and he's letting come back. We're gonna get back on track here at Oakland.
All right.
That's
now,
what I like to
if
hear.
you're listening or watching this, if you're kind of wondering what's going on, last year, Jim and Daniel, they challenged Christian and I to have the best overall score at the end of the year. Losers have to pay for dinner in Vegas, which brings us to an important question. Christian, what is that question?
I mean, do you guys have any food allergies? Can we expect, when we're choosing where to eat?
We want to make sure we can all eat healthy.
And we're all married men. We're kind of worried about where Jim might choose if we win. So what are your thoughts on that?
I refuse to even go there. I believe we are going to win. So you tell me where your allergens are, and then we'll go from there. Because at this point, I refuse to accept the thought of losing this thing to you guys. I mean, I've seen what you guys can do. It's not impressive. And I know that by the end of this championship, we'll have a pretty healthy lead going into Vegas.
That is warrior
All right.
mentality.
All right, so Daniel, here's a question. So you and Jim, you guys obviously do Race Day Live every weekend. Give us a few reasons for the viewers, the listeners, of why they want to be watching Race Day Live.
Well, the main one is you get a chance to see the track. You get a chance to see the riders. And it's not just seeing them ride. I don't know if you guys have noticed this year, but it has been an all-out war for the top of the board in both classes. So, I mean, I think it's your chance to kind of see the racing begin. And it's not an actual race, but these guys bring a racer mentality to qualifying. So, it's just, I mean, if you're sitting around on Saturday, I know Supercross is on your brain, you're waiting for the races, well, you tune into Race Day Live, get a chance to watch us, break it down for you, and most importantly, get a chance to see these guys prep for the night. And it's been awesome. It's been a race in itself, and it obviously affects the way you choose your fantasy positions, because you might go into a race thinking a guy, you're a little high on him, and then you see him in qualifying struggle, and then you got decisions to make. So if you're playing fantasy or you're just a fan in general, Race Day Live gives you that upper edge and gives you a little taste of what's to come at night.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd have to agree.
I think the mind games are definitely there when it comes to qualifying. Those guys want to make sure they know who the top dog is. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, they're trying to establish, not only from a physical standpoint, and make sure their bike is right and they're right, and you get a little confidence booster if you go into the night program on top 5 in your session, but it's also just a message set to the competition on who's ready to play that night, and they treat it real serious. Again, more for the mental side. You see a guy like Ken Roxon, he doesn't really approach it as serious. He's more prepping himself for night racing, takes race lines. So with him, you can't really choose what you're going to do with him for fantasy based on qualifying, because I think he's good either way. Mm-hmm. But these other guys, man, they use it as a chance to just, give themselves an internal boost, send a message, and I love it. It's turned into its own thing, and these guys, they bring the heat to the checkers. That's why with 1 minute to go, don't trust the board. If someone is putting one in, and I mean, they really do care about it.
right on. Now, this week, it's getting kind of tough because so far we've had 3 different winners, and the top 3 guys that you would expect to have won already haven't won. So you got Tomac, Roxon, Muscan. Real quick, who do you think wins first between those 3?
Man, that's tough, because I can argue all 3. Roxon's been up there, man. He's put himself in good position now how many times, but just hasn't sealed it. Eli in that 3rd minute in Anaheim showed me that he is about to be Eli again. Mm-hmm. And Marvin just getting better every week, but I have a feeling Marvin Muscan gets it this week. He's getting stronger. His starts are getting better. Oakland's a tight track. To me, if I had to pick, and it's a hard pick because all 3, I have a reason to believe in all 3, but I lean Marvin right now. Marvin's my guy, unless he shows me something dramatically negative in qualifying. I'm kind of all in on Marvin this weekend in Oakland.
All right, interesting.
I like it.
All right, Christian's got one last question for you.
So the wild card this week, the hardest pick of all, I think, is 7th place. Who comes to mind there for you?
I like a Cole Seeley. I like a Justin Brayton. I like an Aaron Plessinger and a Joey Savacci. Those would be the 4 for different reasons. Depending on how soft the track is, Plessinger, I think if the softer, the better for him. Savacci's getting a little bit closer to riding his full potential. Brayton and Seeley both haven't shown me much yet, but I think that's kind of their range right now before I give them that boost in the top 5. So I I'm going to lock mine in right now with Cole Seeley getting 7th this week. Again, like the Marvin pick, there's so many ways I could go. Sometimes you can go with feeling. So I'll go Marvin with the W. I'll go Seeley with my wild card this week for 7th.
I like it.
All right. Well, thank you for the untrustworthy advice for my picks this weekend. I appreciate that.
Yeah, see, you don't know what I did there.
He's
You
trying
don't
to throw
know.
us
Was
off
I
the
telling you
scent.
the truth?
You're probably
Was
not
I
Marvin
leading
like
you
fifth.
astray?
You want to see real mental games? It's between us, I think. So.
Well, hey, man.
You'll find out on Saturday during Race Day Live.
That's
the
right.
real locked-in pick.
All right, all right. Well, hey, we appreciate you calling in. Good information there. I'm excited. I hope we have 4 winners in 4 rounds. I don't know the last time that's ever happened.
I don't either.
If it has. So, pretty exciting year so far. Tight, or the championships is the points is tight. You know, it's going to be a wild night of racing.
I'm excited. This season is the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, obviously, I don't like Malcolm going down. I don't like Jason going down. But at the same time, we're so stacked and so deep that other guys are elevating their game. And with Barsha, Baggett, and Webb, they brought something this year to keep it spicy up top. So yeah, let's get to Oakland and keep the fun. Keep it
All
up.
right.
Keep it going.
Perfect. Well, look forward to you guys paying for our dinner in Vegas.
I'll see you there. I'll let you know where you guys are going.
Perfect, man. Appreciate it. Take it easy.
Boys, later.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
Our nemesis.
He is taking
He
this
has
serious.
spoken. He
I
is.
like that.
I talked to him actually just a while ago, and he's pretty amped up.
He's
about
a
it.
competitive guy.
He does not want to lose.
That's going to make it even better when we win.
But there you have. So Daniel, he thinks Marvin's going to take the win out of these 3. And what do you say, Cole Seeley for 7th?
Cole Seeley, I think he's leaning a lot better than that personally, but we'll get into it.
There it is. But you know what time it is.
Time to lock him in.
Let's do it.
So time to lock him down. My picks, Eli Tomac, he is beyond due. We know around round 3 and 4, historically, that's when he puts the heat on.
Okay.
So I'm picking him to win, putting him in the top spot again. Ken Roxon and Marvin Musquin, their starting averages are just too good to not put them on the podium for me.
Okay.
Cooper Webb, I'm high up on that dude right now. He spun a web of cries, more like it.
Over the
and
pistol thing?
everybody crying about it. I loved it.
I love it.
I loved it.
Keep it
So
coming.
I'm
Okay?
all in on Cooper Webb. Aaron Plessinger, I think, finally cracks that top 5. First rookie to do it this year. So, and then my wild card, Joey Savacci. The stats just don't lie on that man.
It's true. Man, Wildcard are just top 5. I thought for sure a rookie would have cracked the top 5 by now.
Yeah.
So kind of surprising. All right, well, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. So rather than having Tomac for first place, I actually have Marvin Musquin.
All right.
I think he looked good. His starts have been better than Tomac. So if he gets a better start than Tomac,
He passed Tomac.
he did.
Straight
He
up.
passed him last week. And if he gets a much better start, say Tomac's like mid-pack off the start and Musquin's out in front,
Yeah.
I don't know that Tomac catches him. So I've got Musquin, Tomac, Roxon, Cooper Webb, I think is a good shoo-in for 4th place. I've actually got Seeley making his first top 5 appearance in 5th place this year. And I'm with you. I think Joey Savacci statistically and where he's finished so far, I think he's a really good pick for the wild card.
I like it. We need these points.
We
so
do need these
take
points.
some
So we can't have the
slice and
same
dice
picks.
down.
I can't have Tomac in first.
No, it's turning into a team sport now.
It is. I look at your
Team
picks,
tactics.
and I'm like, hey, who did he pick? Okay, I should pick this guy then.
Yep.
But there you have it. Those are our picks. So you see what we have out there. What are your picks going to be? Did we get it right? Are we way off? You know, is Webb going to spin a web of cries?
Is he going to be overrated? Who knows? We'll see.
Who knows? But if you do want to play, Christian, what's the name of our group?
RM Fantasy SX Rivals, the biggest group in fantasy right now.
Man.
So join up in there. We get good chatter going on. So
It is a blast. But there you go. But now we got to talk about why it pays to play RM Fantasy SX, and this is a prize recap. All right, so remember, it pays to play RM Fantasy SX. If you haven't signed up yet, best of all, it is free to play. Go to RMFantasySX.com, just create your account, make your top 5 picks, the wild card, and then have a blast watching Supercross. But here is why you want to be doing this. We got weekly prizes. We got Bell Motor 9 Carbon Flex for first place, 2 sets of Pirelli MX32 mid-hard tires for second, a Cherubies 7-gear casual package, Pro Honda prize pack, Fly Racing protection package, Rhino Power get in the mix, Mo Tools digital slacker, I have one of those, they're awesome, Fox V1 helmet, ODI Podium CFT handlebars, and of course, 90 Rocky Mountain gift cards.
That's right. 100 weeklies just getting started.
Yes.
And then remember, for the grand prizes, season end, still up for grabs. That first place race prepped KTM 450, second place race prepped KTM 250. Going down to a Moab Red Rock getaway plus generator, Monster Energy Cup trip, a Dunlop Brock Glover Legend ride, fly racing gear and casual package, Milestone Video Games Supercross 2, the game console and 4K TV, Motion Pro Tools, Tusk Impact wheels, and Oakley goggles and sunglasses prize pack all at the end of the year. So
that's a lot.
Big prizes.
Yep. And remember, you don't have to sign. If you haven't been playing so far, it's not a big deal. You can always win a weekly prize. Doesn't matter when you sign up, and your 2 lowest scores at the end of the year will be dropped.
And there's no excuse to miss the pick cutoff this year. Make sure you hit that calendar button on the website. It'll give you a notification on your device or desktop. 30 minutes before picks locked down with links to the site, qualifying, all that. And now to get to what everybody's waiting for.
Yes.
The offer code of the week. Tees, please. TEESPLZ will get you an extra 10% off on all closeout t-shirts today and tomorrow only. Saturday race day. So make sure you get in there and save some bucks.
And there you go. There you have it. So I am Chase.
I'm Christian.
We'll see you next week.